Hey guys, welcome back to the Ending Flicks. Scream 7 is finally here, and it's bringing the terror straight back to the screen. After years of trying to live a normal life, Sidney Prescott's worst nightmare returns. A brand new Ghostface killer is on the loose, and this time, he's targeting her daughter. The rules are broken. The past is back to haunt her, and no one is safe. Will Sidney be able to protect her family and finally end this nightmare once and for all? Today, we're breaking down Scream 7 2026 with all the twists, kills, and shocking reveals. Turn off the lights, grab something to hold on to, and let's dive in. The movie kicks off with a super creepy, suspense-filled scene. It's evening, and this couple, Scott and Madison, pulls up to their brand new house. They just bought it. From the outside, it looks totally normal, but the second they step inside, something feels seriously off. The vibe is weird and straight up terrifying. As the story goes on, they slowly start to realize this house has a dark, bloody past. A bunch of brutal murders happened here before. Madison gets freaked out right away. But Scott, he thinks the whole thing is hilarious. He even goes over to the exact spot where the bodies were found, lays down, and starts taking selfies like it's no big deal. A little later, Madison heads to the bathroom, but she comes running back super panicked. She tells Scott she just saw a guy wearing a Ghostface mask in one of the rooms. They both go check it out. Scott walks right up to this Ghostface without any fear. When the figure makes a move like it's about to attack, something about it looks off, kinda robotic. Scott yanks the mask off and shows Madison it's not a real killer at all. It's just an advanced robot. He puts the mask back on the robot, and they both start laughing about it. They shake it off and begin planning what to have for dinner. Then, out of nowhere, Scott gets a call from an unknown number. The person on the other end already knows they're inside the house. At first, the caller sounds normal and even kind of friendly. He starts asking Scott some random quiz-like questions, but slowly, the caller's tone turns aggressive, and then he flat out says it. "Today is the day you die, Scott." A short while later, Madison gets the exact same call. The mystery person asks her quiz questions too, then tells her the same thing. Today is the day she dies. Even after that, neither of them takes the threat seriously. Later, Madison goes looking for Scott and walks back into the room where that Ghostface robot was. Since she knows it's just a robot, she's not scared at all. But then, another Ghostface suddenly appears. Madison freaks out and punches it hard. Turns out, it was just Scott messing with her again. He immediately apologizes and says the joke went a little too far this time. Right then, Scott notices the original robot Ghostface. It's starting to move, like an actual human. He steps closer to check it out, and suddenly, the Ghostface attacks him. Scott tries to fight back at first, but the killer overpowers him, grabs him tight, and stabs a knife straight through his head. Madison watches in horror as Scott dies right there in front of her. Now completely terrified, Madison tries to fight back and run for her life. During the struggle, she ends up hanging from the chandelier light upstairs. The Ghostface tries to grab her and ends up falling to the floor below, but Madison can't hold on much longer. She starts falling too. At the last second, the Ghostface raises his knife straight up, and it goes right through her body as she falls. She's badly hurt. Then the killer pours gasoline all over the house and all over Madison. He lights the fire and takes off, leaving her there. After that, the story introduces us to a girl named Tatum. One night, she's in her room when she notices someone peeking through her window. She walks over, and she's shocked. It's her boyfriend, Ben. He climbs into her room, and the two of them start sharing some sweet romantic moments together. Suddenly, Tatum's mom, Sydney, shows up at the door. She asks if everything's okay and if anyone came into her room. Tatum lies and says no, but her mom spots Ben trying to hide. She tells him to leave right away. Ben apologizes and says he's a good guy before heading out. Tatum gets really annoyed with her mom because she's way too overprotective. The next morning, Tatum meets her dad, Mark, who's a police officer. The family has a light conversation, and it's clear that Tatum has grown up and she's getting frustrated with her parents constantly watching her every move. After that, the three of them sit down for breakfast, then head off to their own things. Tatum goes to her university and meets up with her friends. They start making plans for a party that evening. Then Ben shows up to pick them up, and they all head out together. At the university, they're practicing for a performance where they have to swing from wires and harnesses. But during practice, something goes wrong. Their teacher gets upset and tells them they need to prepare better. Meanwhile, Sydney is working at her store when she suddenly gets an unknown video call. The second she answers, her face turns completely white with fear. The caller tells her he knows exactly who she is. He knows all about her past, and he knows she's still alive. He even talks about her daughter and shows her on the video feed that he's standing right outside Tatum's university at that very moment. Sydney panics and rushes out immediately. She calls Mark and tells him everything. Mark heads straight to the university too. At the same time, Tatum's friend Angela is up on the wires doing her practice. But the guy operating the machine seems inexperienced. He leaves her hanging way up there. It slowly becomes clear he's doing it on purpose while Angela keeps screaming. Then, out of nowhere, Ghostface appears. He's probably already killed the operator guy. He walks onto the stage and attacks Angela while she's still hanging helplessly. He stabs her over and over and finally slashes her stomach open, killing her. Right then, Sydney arrives and shoots at Ghostface, but he manages to escape. A little later, Mark and the police show up. They find the operator guy dead too. Sydney thinks her daughter has been killed, but then Tatum walks in alive, and Sydney runs over and hugs her tight. After that, the investigation begins, but all the friends are in shock, so the police don't push them too hard. They take Tatum home, and the family starts preparing to leave town for safety. But Tatum refuses to abandon her friends in this situation. Her mom tells her that no matter where they go, the danger will follow. While they're packing their stuff, Ghostface sneaks into the house without them noticing. Suddenly, one of the lights goes out, and they realize the threat is close. They run toward Tatum's room, only to find Ghostface has already taken her hostage. Sydney shouts that her fight is with her, not Tatum. She begs him to let her daughter go. Mark slowly lowers his gun too, but the second he gets an opening, he attacks. A brutal fight breaks out between Mark and Ghostface. Ghostface beats Mark badly and knocks him down hard. Then he starts chasing Sydney and Tatum through the narrow hallways of the house. He swings his knife at them again and again, but they somehow manage to dodge and escape through a hidden exit. The killer keeps coming after them. Suddenly, Mark gets back up and jumps on him again. During the fight, Tatum grabs a wooden plank and smacks the killer with it. Together, they push him out onto the street, right in front of an oncoming car. The car slams into him and crushes him. That's how Ghostface dies. Afterwards, Sydney runs over and hugs Mark tight. A girl steps out of the car. Her name is Gail Weathers. She already knows about this killer. She and her friends pull off the mask together, but when they see his face, everyone is shocked. No one recognizes him. A few minutes later, the police arrive. Mark thinks it's finally over, but Sydney still has doubts. She starts looking at every single person suspiciously, even Tatum's teacher and her boyfriend Ben. Later, Sydney gets back home, and soon everyone gathers inside the house. They all sit down and start talking about Ghostface. During this time, Tatum meets Hannah Thurman and Chad Meeks. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. The next day, Tatum is clearly angry with her parents. She's upset that her mom and dad already knew something about this killer who's been targeting their family, but they never told her anything. Her mom, Sydney, tries to explain. She tells Tatum that whoever is behind all this, they're going to make sure he pays. But until then, Tatum has to listen to them and stay safe. After that, Sydney and Mark leave Tatum at home with Hannah Thurman and Chad Meeks. They head out with Gail Weathers to a mental hospital. They're there to get information about a person who once murdered 3 girls and 1 boy. The hospital staff tells them the guy's name was Mark Evans. He was extremely aggressive. They even take Sydney and Mark to the room where he was kept. The walls are covered with terrifying, twisted drawings that show how messed up his mind was. The staff says they have no idea where he went after those murders. Then Sydney and Mark show them a photo they got from the Ghostface. The staff confirms that this man was also a patient at the hospital, but he got better a few years ago and left. Meanwhile, back at the house, Tatum tells Hannah and Chad she wants to meet her boyfriend Ben. They decide to go with her for safety. The 3 of them head to the bar where the rest of their friends are already waiting. Tatum meets Ben, and when he asks why these 2 are with her, she explains they came along to keep her safe. After that, the whole group starts hanging out and having a good time. Back at the house, Mark is alone. Suddenly, he hears some strange noises. He goes to check the area where the repair work is happening in the house. While he's investigating, Ghostface is already there waiting. He attacks Mark without warning. Mark tries to fight back, but Ghostface keeps slashing at him with the knife and brutally kills him right there. The scene then shifts, and we see Gale Weathers and Sidney together. The two of them have been friends for a long time. Gale works at a media company, and she wants to interview Sidney about the Ghostface case. Since Sidney helped her out in the past, she agrees to do it. They head to the studio where the interview is going out live. During the interview, Gale asks Sidney questions about her childhood and everything connected to Ghostface. Sidney doesn't really want to talk about it and starts feeling uncomfortable. But with the manager pushing her and Gale insisting, Sidney agrees to keep going. Then, out of nowhere, Ghostface video calls them. He taunts them, saying now that they're both together, do they really think they can protect their family from him? Sidney demands to know his location so they can come get him. But he replies that he's right where her daughter is. Sidney says her daughter is safe at home. Ghostface laughs and tells her that Tatum is actually at the bar with her friends right now. Hearing that, Sidney and Gale immediately rush out. But in her panic for her daughter, Sidney races ahead alone and calls Mark on the way. She doesn't know Mark is already dead, so of course he doesn't pick up. Meanwhile, at the bar, Tatum goes to Ben's car with him to spend some time alone. While there, she sees a deepfake video on Ben's laptop. It's Ghostface-related content that Ben apparently made. Tatum gets really angry. Ben tries to explain himself, but in her rage, Tatum slaps him and starts to walk away. At the same time, Mindy heads into the kitchen. She suddenly sees Ghostface and comes running back terrified. Everyone starts looking for him, but Ghostface hides and launches a surprise attack. Mindy tries to fight back, but he cleverly tricks her and makes her kill Chad Meeks with her own hands. Then he slashes her throat and kills her too. After that, he sends one of his accomplices to go tell Tatum what's happening. But the guy comes back badly injured with multiple stab wounds to his stomach. He collapses right there. Mindy tries to run, but Ghostface grabs her, drags her across the floor, and slams her into a bunch of glass bottles. She dies instantly. The injured guy crawls away trying to escape, but Ghostface drags him back and brutally murders him as well. Tatum is running and screaming for help, but all the nearby houses are empty and no one comes to save her. Then she spots Ghostface's shadow and runs even faster. Suddenly, Ben shows up and apologizes to her. Tatum tells him that even if he made a mistake, they need to get out of there right now. Just then, Ghostface appears and attacks Ben. Ben fights back as hard as he can, but Ghostface is way stronger. He stabs him over and over and kills him. Tatum watches in total horror and runs as fast as she can. She ends up at her mom's store. Tatum quickly punches in the code and slips inside the store. She sends a message to her mom right away, but then Ghostface shows up there too. And the crazy part is, he knows the exact security code for the store. How is that even possible? Does Ghostface know Sidney and Tatum way better than they think? We'll find out the truth soon enough. As he starts coming in, Tatum runs into a back room, locks herself inside, and pushes heavy stuff in front of the door to block it. Then her mom Sidney calls her and tells her there's a gun hidden in one of the drawers. She needs to grab it. Sidney has access to the store's CCTV footage, so she's watching everything live. Sidney tells Tatum that Ghostface is right outside the door. The second he comes into view, she needs to shoot him. Tatum does exactly that. She fires and hits Ghostface, knocking him to the ground. Sidney says he's down and tells her to shoot him in the head, whether he's alive or already dead. Tatum steps out and gets ready to finish him off, but suddenly Ghostface jumps back up and attacks her. He beats Tatum badly and throws her across the room. As he moves in to kill her, Tatum grabs a fire extinguisher cylinder and smashes it over his head. She keeps hitting him with chairs over and over until she knocks him down. But just as she tries to run out, another shocking twist hits. There's a second Ghostface waiting right outside. The two of them team up and attack Tatum together. A little later, Sidney gets a call from Tatum's phone. It's Ghostface on the line. He tells her that her daughter is now his hostage. If she wants to end all of this, she has to come to the exact place where everything started. Sidney rushes there and finds Ghostface holding Tatum captive. Sidney pleads with him, saying his fight is with her. He should let her daughter go. Ghostface replies that she killed his friends, so he's not letting anyone go. Then Ghostface slowly removes his mask and steps forward. It's Dewey, someone Sidney already knew. Suddenly another Ghostface appears. It's Jessica. They also bring in Mark, who looks in really bad shape, but is still alive. Sidney asks Jessica why she's doing all this. She reminds her that she had a son. Jessica tells her that her son is dead now, and Sidney is the reason he's gone. Jessica says she's going to keep going with all of this, so Sydney has to watch her own daughter die right in front of her eyes. Then Tatum sees her chance. She smashes Jessica in the head. Sydney instantly fires and shoots Dewey, killing him. But Jessica shoves Tatum aside and runs away. Sydney leaves Tatum with Mark and tells her to call an ambulance. Then she takes off after Jessica herself. Jessica hides and suddenly attacks Sydney. The two of them get into a brutal fight and both end up badly hurt. At one point, Jessica's about to finish Sydney off, but then Tatum shows up and shoots Jessica. Even after getting shot, Jessica doesn't go down. She grabs a knife and charges at them again. This time, Sydney and Tatum both open fire together, unloading a barrage of bullets into her. Jessica finally drops dead right there. A few minutes later, the police and ambulance arrive on the scene. Tatum runs over and hugs her mom tight. She tells her she wants to be strong, just like her one day. Mark gets rushed to the hospital in the ambulance, and that's how this terrifying movie ends. If you loved this intense movie recap, don't forget to smash that like button and share the video. Every like and comment gives us the motivation to bring you even better movie breakdowns. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.